Hallöchen und herzlich willkommen hier wieder zurück bei Tales of Arise. Ja, wir müssen eine Folge aufnehmen, weil, naja, morgen, wenn ihr das seht, morgen ist Livestream und deswegen muss ich noch eine aufnehmen, damit nichts ausfällt. Ich bin ganz kurz am gucken, da müssen wir. Oh, Entschuldigung, Mann. Ja, wir haben echt viel Input gehabt, also wirklich sehr viel Input, was das hier alles, überhaupt die Hintergrundgeschichte und alles ist. Und Naori hat zu uns gesprochen und gesagt, wir sollen, ne? Oder es gibt eine Möglichkeit mit dem Rennes Alma, was wir jetzt suchen, die Dorn zu vernichten und Shionne kann am Leben bleiben. Das habe ich jetzt noch so im Kopf. Mehr habe ich nicht im Kopf, aber ich habe sowieso nichts im Kopf. Wir sollen einfach tiefer gehen. Also gehe ich tiefer. Echt kein dunkles Outfit für Kisara?
That's quite some door, all right. This might finally be it. The heart of the beast.
We'll find the Rennes Alma and the Red Woman inside, right?
Wie? Was?
After everything we've been through to get here, they damn well better be.
We'll probably be needing you to open this one for us, Sovereign.
Go for it, Alphen.
This is it, guys. Time to see what secrets are in store.
Ich dachte, das geht noch ewig so weiter, das Spiel. Komm. Kommt doch nicht mit sowas. Ich muss noch mal ganz kurz Outfits gucken. Einfach zur Ablenkung. Okay, hat sie, aber das wurde nicht angezeigt in der Zwischensequenz. Okay, cool. Was? Was?
We're a long way from the residential quarters now. It looks completely different.
Yeah, you're right. Actually, this place, it reminds me more of being back inside the wedge.
Except the Dahnan astral energy feels even stronger here.
In a portion of the city reserved purely for the Renan Sovereign.
Maybe he just has strange tastes?
This place looks like it has been here for quite some time now. If its design were a matter of personal preference, we would be talking from centuries ago. Or perhaps even further back. Still, this isn't the sort of decadence of taste spoken of in artistic circles. So what is it then?
Hold up, decadence? Artistic circles?
When a preference is indulged to its extreme, it descends into kitsch, eccentricity for the sake of it. I'd be happy to illuminate you further.
That depends. Does it involve you buying me lunch?
The void that art fills isn't the stomach, it's the soul.
In that case, I'll let you know the next time my soul starts to rumble.
Now all we need is something to fill up the void inside your head.
Shut up!
Geht das jetzt hier gerade auf sowas wie einen Endkampf zu? Ich habe ein bisschen Angst.
Volron! He really was still alive.
Oh, fuck.
And there's the Rennes Alma. Then, is this another spirit channeling ceremony? Wait, though. Something doesn't seem right here.
Once more, the powers must be united. Born from the fires of chaos, the world does seek its rightful state. All must be sacrificed in the heart of Rena, at the shrine of the true sovereign.
What has happened to him? He's lost himself, reduced to a mere cog in a machine.
Hey, look! Over there!
Isn't that the Maiden's crest?
Can it be that this entire chamber is meant to act as a substitute for the Maiden?
It looks like it's still running, but Are we already too late to stop the ceremony?
If that's what caused Lenegis' transformation, then the purpose of the ceremony must have been to drain all the astral energy out of Dahna.
But for what purpose? What could possibly need astral energy on that sort of scale?
I don't know. But whatever it is, I'll bet it's connected to those visions of oblivion. Regardless, we cannot stand by and let them steal Dahna's energy. That said, we should retrieve the Rena Alma. Because right now, we need that most of all.
He's not gonna lunge at us out of nowhere, right?
Not the time, Law.
Alphen, look!
The Red Woman! So we finally found you. I have a lot of questions for you.
Wait!
What?
They all have the same face? How is that even possible? What is this?
Who the hell are they?
It can't be. Are they even people?
It's hard to know for sure, but I think they're the true rulers of Rena.
They're not feeling
Creepy.
particularly talkative.
It's no use, Alphen. If we don't fight, we may as well be sitting ducks here.
Good point. Let's stop them before this gets out of hand. Here I come!
Angel spear! Here's evil!
Ah, werft doch nicht mit sowas auf mich.
I never miss!
Dragon Form!
Attack live!
Eagle Fly! Explosive Ray!
Illuminate the healing circle!
Oh no! What? This isn't looking good!
I can carve through armor!
Dragon Form!
Lightning! By the power of change! Embarrassed without a trace! I'll be saving you
Dragon
from
Form!
all disaster!
Dragon Form! Not today!
Rolling snap!
Dragon Form!
Jetzt haben die uns auch noch von hinten erwischt, ey.
Coming through!
Ich wollte gerade Hardcore-Angriff machen. Ich habe ein bisschen Angst. Alter, die roten Frauen sind aber so gruselig, Alter, ehrlich.
Scarlet
Die sind so
Inferno!
unsagbar gruselig. Warum sind die so gruselig? Ich weiß, es bringt alles nicht so viel, aber ist egal.
Dragon Form! Dragon Form!
Alter, irgendjemand eskaliert da ganz hart, aber ich denke nicht rein. Danke. Nein, die sind jetzt tatsächlich gar nicht so gruselig.
You'll pay for that!
Wenn die jetzt mal...
Ignite! Dragon Form! Try this!
Between heaven and earth. Ready to go! Lightning!
Haben die denn auch noch Schaden gemacht, die Schnitzel?
Where are you going?
Dragon Form! Lightning Throw!
Will this help?
Eagle Fly!
Ey! Oh Mann.
Raging
Zum Thema, die sind nicht so stark, wa? Ja, ich rest mich selber. Ist in Ordnung. Lass mich mal liegen sonst. Meine Güte. Völlig ignoriert die Alte.
Now you see what I can do!
Schlecht, 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 schlecht.
Dragon Form!
Gut, dass ich hier irgendwo in der Ecke stehe.
Burn in hell! Dragon Form! Mega Stop! Pierce! Dragon Form! I'm nearly done for.
I really owe you one.
That'll bring you down.
Dragon Form! Try it!
No further. Anything in armor is all mine.
Explosive ring! You picked the wrong fight! Dragon Form! Try this! Explosive ring! Dragon Swarm!
Use the healing art.
Be still.
Illuminate the terrain. Come forth.
Dragon Swarm!
Holy Land.
I'll run you through! Dragon Swarm!
Nein, die sind wirklich tatsächlich nicht schwer.
Stay away from my friend!
Er ist gut. Ist irgendwie überlebt.
Holy Glimmer. Holy Land. A chain between heaven and earth.
Can't get out of this!
A wailing ray of lightning.
Dragon!
Mal ganz kurz ein Ananas-Gelee nehmen.
Swarm!
Eat this.
Lightning thrust! Inferno punch!
Spear. Pierce.
Komm runter, komm runter, komm runter. Danke.
Be let free! Dragon Swarm! It's too much! Dragon Swarm! Coming through! Ha!
Manchmal stört das, wenn er in der Luft ist.
Scarlet Inferno!
Here, let me help. This one's mine.
Born up! Talon Swarm! Ready and rare!
So, die erste ist aber auch gleich tot.
Dragon Swarm! Dragon Swarm! Lightning thrust! It's time!
Rain down.
Rising
Die erste ist tot.
instant! Impact thrust!
Glacial spear. Pierce evil.
Alle sind tot, okay.
Surrender! Fighting is useless now!
Do you think it's really over?
Astral energy. Watch out! They've got something up their sleeve.
What?
It's self-destructed?
Alphen!
I'm okay. Just a little roughed up.
You had me worried there.
Who said you could touch that? Damn it! He's awake! I should have thought as much.
So you know this place?
Naturally, it was built for me, after all. We'll save that for another time. More pressing is how I'm going to tear you apart.
Even after all this time, you still insist on hating me?
You cut me down. Sovereign or not, you will pay for that.
You're obviously bluffing. You can't even move right now.
Really, is that what you think? Did you really think that such a petty device could hold me?
Are you going to claim it's because you're a ruler? Be it sovereigns or lords. In the end, they're all titles given by someone else.
Plus, what kind of ruler would spend all his time chasing Alphen, who happens to be another sovereign?
Idle prattle. I proved my worth and the Sovereign's powers were granted to me.
Were they really? We already know the title of Sovereign doesn't denote royalty. It is but an overblown codename for those with a designated part to play in these proceedings. You mentioned before that you were not the only one stolen from Dahna, correct?
Yeah. There were countless. And every one of them besides me died.
All of those failed experiments, and they still kept going back to Dahna. There must have been some vital reason their subject had to specifically be a Dahnan. Then there were the records we found in the library, for you and Volron. They were logged 300 years apart, and yet the data they took from you was exactly the same. Which leads us to a single conclusion.
Then you mean Boron was kidnapped just like Alphen? But then he became a...
A slave from Dahna. Just like us. Isn't that right, Volron?
So he posed as a Renan and caused all that suffering to his own people?
How could you? If you knew the pain of being a slave, why would you inflict that upon others?
Renan and Dahna are meaningless distinctions. Me and everyone else. That is all that matters. I will stand above all others and take what is rightfully mine, starting with this.
A red woman?
Another one?
Give your master back on Rena this message. No one makes a fool of me. Let them know I'll make them suffer.
Don't do it!
Serenus Alva!
It's too late. We can't stay here.
We need to go. Alphen!
Go. But know I will be your shadow no matter where you try to run.
Let's go.
Never forget, I am the one who devours everything. Who answers to neither spirit nor man. My word is law. I am.
Are you two okay?
Yeah. We'll be fine.
Is Volron... have we finally seen the last of him?
We can but hope.
Those red women. What the heck was their deal?
Could they be the ones behind all this? The same ones who put those soldiers in Faria in a trance?
What, those brainless things? Either way, they've done a runner with the Renis Alma. Damn it, that's the second time now!
Whatever's stolen from us, we'll steal it back. The future's ours to protect. And right now, those things are what's standing in our way. We can head them off at Rena.
Did you say Rena?
Volron mentioned a master of theirs holed up in the motherland somewhere.
If that monstrous form's their true identity, I shudder to think who they take orders from.
Yeah. There's a good chance it's not human. That's for sure.
So this thing over on Rena, that's what's really behind all this, huh?
They have the Renis Alma in their grasp already, so it's unlikely they'll have cause to return to Dahna. I agree that Rena's our best shot.
Then we're agreed. Let's head back to the starship.
Hurra, es geht noch weiter.
But seriously, I was not expecting Volron to actually be here.
He seemed to care not one whit about Renans or Dahnans.
Yeah, and not in a good way like with us.
I didn't see that coming about Volron. As for those red women, to think they were monsters all along.
Tell me about it. One minute they look perfectly human. Next thing you know, they're not actually human at all.
They definitely weren't Renan or Dahnan. I'm not even sure language would get through to them.
So what were they then? Human Zoogle hybrids?
Is the most terrifying thing anyone said all day?
How about you, Shionne? Doherty? You ever seen anything like that before?
No, never. However, if they're the same as the Red Woman we've seen with Volron, I think it's safe for us to assume they understand our language at the very least.
I had just so much I wanted to ask them. About Rena and Shionne's thorns.
Unfortunately, they blew themselves up before we got the chance. Why would they do such a thing, though? To take us with them? Or in order to keep something hidden?
Both sound plausible to my ears. They took off with the Renis Alma too, remember?
Yeah, they did. And the next time we meet them, we're going to make sure they tell us everything they know.
Mann. Ich will keinen Feierabend machen. Scheiße. Oh, okay, jetzt sollen wir nach Rena. Renner. Das ist voll der Renner, Alter. Aber erstmal wieder hier rauskommen. In der Hoffnung, dass wir hier rauskommen. Was sagt denn eigentlich unser Log? Kehre zu Falnates zurück. Das war unser Flugschiff, ne? Ja, das wollten wir ja nicht Heldentod nennen. Stimmt. Ach, frag mich nicht, ob ich mich teleportieren kann. Wir laufen einfach schnell mal. Wer weiß, was noch kommt. Wer weiß, was sowieso jetzt noch kommt, wenn wir jetzt noch auf einem anderen Planeten und so und... Wer weiß, wie viel Story da noch ist. Oh Gott, ich hoffe ganz viel. Was ist jetzt eigentlich das Geheimnis hinter dem allen? Volvan war ja auch nur eine Marionette. Im Endeffekt war er nur eine Marionette gewesen. So wie Alphen auch und so wie alle anderen eigentlich auch. So wie alle Rena irgendwie auch. Zumindest die glauben, Rena zu sein. Kann ja auch sein, dass es gar keine Renas sind. Oh,
We seem to have come across.
This one's tough, but we have no choice.
Let me know if you need healing.
Okay, kämpfen wollte ich jetzt aber nicht, tatsächlich.
Now.
Burn in hell!
I'll punch that gun out of your hands!
Now you'll learn!
Dann können wir bestimmt auch so fliegen, oder?
Leave the ensnaring to me.
Yeah? And pummel to me! Do it! Rinwell! Demons descend! Flashing fang! Anything in armor is fine! I'm just getting started!
Flaming thrust! This one's all mine!
Now,
Shionne!
get toasty.
Burn strike!
My turn! Ignite!
Dann rennt der auch gleich weg.
Do it. Now.
Demons descend! Flashing fang!
No chance!
Rain down.
Die haben keine Chance.
Step back! This one's all law!
Aber da müsste ich mich ja rein theoretisch... Ups. Müsste ich mich ja rein theoretisch zurück... Nein, ich kann mich nicht. Ich muss tatsächlich durchlaufen, ich kann mich nicht. Ich kann mich nicht teleportieren. Okay. Wir müssen tatsächlich latschen. Ist das jetzt richtig? Ja. Entschuldigung, ich gucke die ganze Zeit immer wieder drauf. Den hätte ich nicht mal mehr kämpfen müssen.
Take this! I'm on it!
I never miss.
Stardust! I'll tear you apart! Time to cross blade! No further!
Gegen den hätte ich nicht mehr kämpfen müssen.
Get you! That freaking does it!
Here we go!
Ignite! Dragon Force!
Finish without a trace!
I'll tear you apart! I'll crush you!
Hey, ich war gerade in meinem Angriff. Oh, der hat so viel Knoten da.
Tenebrous Claw!
Der hat mich echt aus dem Angriff wieder rausgenommen. Du Soße.
I won't give in! I can do this all day!
Ich dachte, der macht diese Technik. Scheiße. Jetzt macht er das, ne? Ja, jetzt macht er das, oder? Nee, auch nicht.
I'll stop its charge.
Thanks, Kisara.
No further! Not here! Be still! Try harder! Not here! Burn in hell! Rising Phoenix!
Das ist nicht die Technik, die ich machen wollte. Naja, ist egal.
Armor won't save you!
Ich will gerade ausweichen. Aber ich werde ja auch nicht geheilt von der Alten hier. Ich werde von niemandem hier mehr geheilt.
Take this! Eat this! Now! Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
With this, I can become even stronger.
Wir müssen immer weiter kämpfen hier, so ein Kack. Will ich doch gar nicht. Kann ich dran vorbei? Kommen wir sogar. Nice. Will jetzt nicht kämpfen.
What the? When did it get pitch dark all of a sudden?
The lights are all out. Think it has something to do with the explosion back in the Forbidden Zone? Doe?
You two.
Faria, Avakir. Thank goodness you're safe.
Avakir filled me in about everything. About how I ambushed you all.
She doesn't remember a thing. So she really was being controlled.
He told me about Tarnigan, too. Is it true?
What difference does it make? What's done is done.
Stop casting me off, just for once!
Faria, not now. It can wait. Dohalim, Lenegus is in grave peril.
So I can see.
It's the city's core reactor. It's damaged. Some of the basic systems we've managed to keep online, but complete restoration's still a way off.
You're an elite technician, though. You can fix it, right?
If so, then what's the problem?
Panic's begun to set in among the citizens. Until now, whenever something like this happened, the Sovereign would issue a decree. But this time, not so much as a peep. Any longer, and we run the risk of riots breaking out before we can get things back up and running.
Forget the Sovereign. I doubt you'll be hearing from him anytime soon.
What's that supposed to mean? Do you know something I don't?
Suffice it to say, the Sovereign isn't the kind of ruler we thought he was. That is, if he ever even existed, which is looking doubtful at this stage.
Are you out of your mind? Why, if people knew that a lord such as yourself was whispering such blasphemy, they'd...
There's no time to explain now. It sounds like we need to find a way to keep Lenegus from spiraling out of control.
We need to stop that riot.
But how do we do that?
Riots feed on discontent and unrest, right? So if we want to keep the peace, we just need to put people's minds at ease.
At ease? Like by letting them hear directly from someone they trust. That's it. Who's the highest-ranking person in Lenegus right now?
Lenegus wouldn't have a next in line. After all, you said the Sovereign rules over everyone directly, right?
Correct. The closest thing to an authority figure would be a lord. And the only one left is... Ah. Very well then.
Hat aber gedauert.
Avakir, you mentioned a few facilities were still online. Which ones?
Hat aber gedauert, bis er es begriffen hat.
Why hasn't the Sovereign said anything?
Please, won't somebody explain what's going on?
Is it over? What's going to happen to all of us?
Heed me now, fellow Renans of Lenegus. It is I, Lord Dohalim Ilkaris of Eldermen and Sia.
Look, up there! It's Lord Dohalim!
Hold on! He should be in the crown contest! Shouldn't he? Why isn't the Sovereign talking to us?
The Sovereign is seeing to other matters right now. In my capacity as Lord, I speak to you in his stead. You're afraid. As people so often are when faced with the unknown. I hope you'll allow me to put your fears to rest. The city's core reactor has experienced a malfunction. However, we have our top engineers attending to the matter, and things will soon be back to normal. I know that you feel abandoned, perhaps more scared and alone than ever before. But I ask you all to keep one thing in mind. You are Lenegus, not the Lords and Sovereign. The solidarity of its citizens is the mortar that holds it together. If we don't allow ourselves to be distracted by our differences, if we put our hearts and minds together and stand as one, I am confident we will find new hope. I would be honored to stand with you. Not as a person of loftier rank, but as another human being among many. I hope that you'll lend me your strength, for if we can persevere as one, I know a bright tomorrow awaits.
Na, die 5 Minuten hätten die auch noch ohne Strom aushalten können, ohne dass gleich ein Aufstand entsteht.
Your speech seems to have done the trick. Looks like the city won't be descending into chaos after all.
I only pray the relief will tide the city over for the time being.
What you said earlier, about the Sovereign possibly not even existing, was it true?
It's still too premature to say with any certainty, but I believe so. This whole time, this world we've been fed was a lie, built on nothing but falsehoods.
But it can't all have been...
I can believe it. After everything I saw in the Forbidden Zone, what they did to Faria, it's the only explanation that makes sense.
But what about hierarchy, Avakir? Authority? The very foundations of Renan society? How can we live without someone to guide us?
I'd say we found someone capable of doing just that, wouldn't you?
You? You can't be serious.
I have business I must take care of first. But once everything is over, I shall return. But not as your sovereign, nor as a leader the likes of which the people here are used to, I think.
But how else do you propose to rule?
I'm not sure yet. All I have is a feeling that here in Lenegus, a new dawn is on the verge of breaking. One in which people won't be judged by birthright or on the power of their astral arts, but on other things. More important things. Things like, oh, I don't know, musical talent, for example.
When I bumped into you after all those years, I said you were no different. But I was wrong. Truth is, you were always different. I feel like maybe now I can finally begin to accept Turnagain's death. To see a future.
You go finish whatever it is you've got to do. I'll hold down the fort here in Lenegus till you get back.
Thank you.
I guess you're not going to make it to Menancia for the foreseeable future, huh?
Indeed. Forgive me.
The people of Eldermenencia can look after themselves just fine. It's the ones here on Lenegus who need someone to guide them. Besides, with you leading the people here, it'll help spread the idea of coexistence beyond Menencia's borders that much faster.
Sounds like you're in it for the long haul.
How could I not be, after the second chance that I've been granted? From this day forth, I shall dedicate myself to the future inhabitants of this world. Though the memories of the departed shall remain forever in my heart.
Remember, you're going to be leading the people here, not ruling them.
True enough. Whatever would I do without you, Kisara?
With or without her, I suspect you're gonna have your hands full when the time comes. We should be heading back to the ship. Business on Rena awaits.
Was Neues? Die Doha-Lieber. Niemand braucht dich, Doha-Li. Oh Gott, haben wir viele Punkte. Ein fortgeschrittener, erhöhte geheilte HP. Wir haben extrem viele Punkte. Okay, vielleicht hat auch nur er extrem viele Punkte. Und nicht wir. Ein Higafgrin mit Flammen? Na ja, klar. Mit Flammen ist immer gut. Flammen. Ich mag Flammen. Flammen machen immer voll. Hier oben ist fertig. Der wird fertig. Verteidigung ist auch immer gut. Du hast überhaupt gar keine Punkte bekommen, warum auch immer. Niemand mag dich. Hier sind einfach... Da gucke ich gar nicht drauf.
Looks like the people of Lenegus can rest easy.
I couldn't have done it without your words of encouragement, Law.
Hey, you're the one who made the speech.
I think everybody can share the credit here.
In one sense, when all is said and done, perhaps I have been a slave this whole time too.
You, a Renan lord? How do you figure that exactly?
I was complicit in the Renan system, bound by its values, resigned to being swept along, without the resolve to take a stand. And when I realized the severity of my mistake, all I longed for was punishment. A lord. And yet my first instinct was to place my fate in the hands of others.
I think I can relate. I couldn't stand watching my people bow and scrape their way through life, but I didn't know what else I could do about it either. The ability to think for yourself and be your own master. That's what separates a slave from a free person. At least, that's what Law's dad Zephyr used to say. Zephyr taught me how to fight. But in doing so, he also taught me how to live.
Even if it means stumbling along the way. If it's on a road of our own choosing, free of regret. Why, that's the road of freedom. Or, to put it another way, so long as his heart is compromised, even the loftiest of kings is no freer than a slave. I think I finally understand now. This Zephyr character sounds like he was a wise man indeed. I only wish I could have met him.
There's just so much I wish I could ask him, especially now. I wonder, have I been correctly carrying on the torch that he passed to me?
How long have you known?
Known what?
About the darkness I carry inside me. You seem to have been aware of it for quite some time now.
Why ask me now? What does it matter? But yes, I have. I've pretty much known that something was gnawing at you ever since we left Menencia.
So basically since the very start of our journey then. Just when I thought I couldn't feel more ashamed.
Leave the past where it belongs. We have no need for it now. You're forging ahead. That's what matters. If my brother could see you, he'd be proud.
Not as proud as he would be of his sister, I'm sure.
Well then, just as well it's not a competition, huh?
Kisara? Anyone at home in there?
Sorry. Did I look distracted?
Among other things. To be entirely honest, I couldn't tell whether you were smiling or frowning.
You were thinking about Dohalim, weren't you?
That obvious, huh? I was just thinking how good it is to see him moving forward at last. It was always so infuriating, knowing how capable he could be if he just put his mind to it. A prisoner trapped in a cage of his own self-doubt. But now, he's finally beginning to spread his wings. I'm happy for him.
So, then why do you look so sad?
Oh, I don't know if I'd say sad. There's a bittersweetness to it, I guess. It's good and strange, knowing that he won't be needing me anymore. It probably sounds weird, doesn't it? I have this massive worry off my mind. I should be jumping up and down for joy, right?
Must be that maternal instinct of yours at work.
Rinwell's right. You're like a mother bird, finally letting go as her child takes his first shaking and nervous flight from the nest.
A pretty big child.
That's one way to look at it. I wouldn't like to see Dohalim's face if he heard you say that. All this has made me realize I can't allow myself to become a prisoner of my own making like he was. If Dohalim can forge his own path ahead, then I can too. I won't be left behind.
Werden wir ja sehen. So, ich glaube, wir sollten aber langsam Feierabend machen. Ja, das sind jetzt schon 40. Das ist ja... Ihr wollt mir doch bestimmt sagen, dass ich da nicht so einfach hin kann, oder? Es gibt nicht mal mehr. Wir können zum Raumschiff. Ah ne, warte, hat keinen Anreisepunkt. Wir können nicht zum Raum... Okay, wir können uns eigentlich noch gar nicht so bewegen. Deswegen würde ich sagen, bewege ich mich. Jetzt erstmal hier hin. Vielleicht kommen wir ja so hingelaufen. Dann können wir den Stream gleich damit starten, dass wir ins Raumschiff purzeln und nach Rena fliegen. Oder es kommt irgendetwas Großes und die Folge wird einfach noch länger. Aber ich will auch gerade noch gar nicht aufhören. Ist immer doof, eine Folge aufnehmen. Scheiß. Ist aber auch doof, eine Folge ausfallen zu lassen, deswegen. Bist immer noch nicht auf die Kette. Oh Gott, ey, die sind echt schlecht. Okay, kommt schon mal nichts. Hier werden wir auch nicht angegriffen oder sonst irgendetwas. Wir können uns langsam hinbewegen. Wir schaffen das. Umgeguckt haben wir uns ja überall. Ich muss nur immer wieder gucken, ob ich auch auf dem richtigen Weg bin und nicht irgendwo gegen eine Wand laufe. Wer heilt hier? Irgendwelche Pfeifen weiter, die nichts können. Ich bin auch richtig. Und morgen werden wir uns dann nach Renas begeben, wa? Ich bin echt... Also ich bin wirklich sehr, 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 sehr gespannt, was da noch alles überhaupt abgeht. Ja, der versucht die Kinder zu trösten. Oder mitzuschleppen. Ja, ich bin doch richtig, Mann. Guck doch nicht immer so. Guck, das schaffen wir sogar noch. So, jetzt bleibe ich hier. Ich wollte gerade sagen, mein Raumschiff ist weg, aber das steht da unten. Jetzt bleibe ich hier aber stehen, bevor wirklich eine Szene anfängt. Deswegen verabschiede ich mich jetzt und ja, morgen zum Livestream werden wir nach Renas fliegen und einfach mal sehen, wie es hier überhaupt im Allgemeinen weitergeht. Sorry, dass die Folge jetzt so lange ging, aber sind wir mal ehrlich. Muss. Ganz einfach muss. Sorry, dass ich immer wieder die falsche Taste drücke, aber muss. Haben wir nicht neue Technik bekommen? Irgendwas mit Feuer? Irgendwie nicht. Ich will jetzt den hier auch tatsächlich mal weghaben. Und dann ewige Verwüstung reinmachen. Der hat schon so viele Punkte hier, weil wir die Technik immer wieder nutzen, dass das doch irgendwie auch hinhaut. Na gut, ich bin jetzt aber wirklich raus. Und morgen im Livestream Renas, ne? Ihr wisst Bescheid. So, bis zum nächsten Mal, also morgen. Bis dahin, auf Wiedersehen und ciao. Tschüss.